Hello, my name is Dr. Declan McLaughlin. I'm the Anatomy Prosector at the Queen's University in Belfast. I've been a postgraduate member for the Anatomical Society for about 3 years now, and I've just recently become and progressed to full member. Well, because I've just become a recent full member, I'm still going to hopefully look forward to all the things that will bring, but certainly from being a postgraduate member, the society is very well renowned and regarded throughout the British Isles and across the world. And the anatomy community in the UK and Ireland is, while there are a lot of us, at the same time it's quite small. So certainly getting to be able to speak to peers and from studying as a student and as a demonstrator, and reading papers, and you see all these names, and then you come to meetings, or you receive emails, or you go on the forums, and you get to exposure to those people that you've read about, and it's very collegial. You get an awful lot of support, whether that be through your research interests, or just general one-to-one support from colleagues that have maybe worked in the same area as you, or have had similar experiences as yourself. So some of the main advantages of being a member of the Anatomical Society are certainly, from a student perspective anyway, having been a postgraduate member, are in my studies through anatomy and through wet lab research that I've done, and lots of reading, my part-time demonstrating in anatomy, is that you see all these names of researchers in the area and people who have published papers, but it's not really, I think, until you join the society that you can put faces to these names, that they are people that turn up to meetings, that give seminars, that can come and visit your department, and there's a huge collegiality across the Anatomical Society throughout the UK and Ireland, and further across the world. It's a very well known and highly regarded society, and I think one of the main benefits is that the exposure and getting to interact with these people that you've read papers about, and you find out that they have the same interests as you, and you can often gain an awful lot of experience because they would have had similar experiences to you as a junior member, as a postgraduate student as well. I would say one of the main advantages of coming to the meetings is getting to meet all the people, getting to meet people that work in similar areas as you. I particularly enjoy the poster sessions. It's nice to see in a very visual way. I'm a very visual learner, which I guess is why I like anatomy really. Walking around the poster sessions, you get to interact with the people that have done the work. Some of them may be PhD students. Sometimes we get intercalating medical students or biomed students. And equally, we have professors and heads of department who are there presenting work from their research group. So I really like the social aspect, particularly the poster sessions, but also the talks as well. I'm looking forward as well, and have experienced short flash talks. And it's a fun way to try and learn and gain information on what people's research interests are in a really short space of time. It keeps us as anatomists, as educators, on our toes, and it just makes everything a little bit more lighthearted. In terms of funding from the Anatomical Society, I haven't yet looked into travel awards or anything like that, but certainly things like the Symington bequest and the funding for departmental seminar series is something I would be interested in applying for and perhaps partaking in the future. Certainly we've availed of a lot of funding from other members of my department back in Queen's, the departmental seminar series. We've had some guest speakers come over and speak to our department, speak to our group, our research centre. And again, it's terrific that the Anatomical Society makes that so accessible, that people that we might struggle to get over normally, we can apply to the society, and all being well, we'll receive the funding and we can get those eminent speakers over to chat to us about their work, and again just make it more personal. With regard to how supportive the society is to my area, I spent, as many of us have, spent a lot of time as a wet lab researcher, and then progressed in, I guess, fell into education through my work in demonstrating as a PhD student, and I really found a love for teaching anatomy then, both gross anatomy and microscopic. And I think the society, coming to the society, being part of the society, you get an awful lot of support. There are people here who have far more experience than I have, and who are very open and willing to pass on that information, pass on tips and tricks and their own knowledge, or if they can't help you, they'll at least point you in the direction of someone that can. And again, it's probably someone whose name you've read, who you've seen on the website or read an abstract, or perhaps even briefly chatted to at a conference. But then when you actually get to sit and speak to them, they're very friendly, very open, very approachable, as I think the society is generally, very open and wanting to help educate and progress its members and its junior members as well. In terms of contributing to the society, I haven't been in the position yet where I've sat on any of the councils or been in charge of different aspects, whatever they may be. But from practical point of view, coming and presenting posters and I guess contributing to the knowledge of the field really is my contribution thus far. That's not to say that if something was to come up, if they were looking for members of council or someone to help out with social media, for example, that I wouldn't help. I think it's nice to give back and to actually act on the things that we've talked about, that helping and expanding the knowledge of our members, being open and approachable, and I guess giving back to the society that hopefully I'm going to gain a lot from in the future as well.